At some point every evening, they go quiet. One moment your living room is alive, your parrot talking back to the TV, climbing across the cage bars, calling out every time someone walks past. And then, in the space of about 20 minutes, the noise stops. The cage is still, the perch is empty of movement. The room that was full of life an hour ago looks like a different place entirely. Where did they go? Most people assume their parrot is simply sleeping, resting, doing whatever parrots do when humans stop watching. But the reality is far more specific, far more deliberate, and far stranger than most people realize. What happens to your parrot between dusk and dawn is one of the least observed and most extraordinary parts of their lives. Tonight, while you are asleep, your parrot will do things that would stop you mid-breath if you could see them. Some of them will rehearse words and sounds in their sleep, their brain firing in chaotic vocal patterns in the dark. Some of them will enter a full panic attack inside their cage, flapping uncontrollably, injuring themselves, with no one watching. Some of them, the ones you never think of as anxious, will spend the night plucking their own feathers out of loneliness. Welcome to Plumos. Subscribe before you leave, because what you are about to learn happens every single night inside your home, completely invisible to you, and it will change the way you think about the parrot you see every morning. Tonight, we are going into the dark, into what your parrot actually does when the light leaves your home. Stay until the end, because the last thing we cover happens while you are completely asleep, and most parrot owners never fully grasp the scale of it. Number 1. Where your parrot actually goes when the lights go out. The answer is not where most people imagine, and it is more deliberate than anyone expects. The roosting ritual is one of the most overlooked things in parrot ownership. Your parrot does not simply fall asleep when the lights go off. In the hour before sleep, your parrot enters what researchers call a roosting phase, typically preening slowly, settling its feathers, and going still without actually sleeping yet. It is not resting. It is preparing. A sleeping parrot is a vulnerable parrot, and this roosting ritual is the closest thing to a security check a parrot can perform. It will go through this same ritual night after night, at roughly the same time, in the same spot, for months at a time. If you have noticed your parrot going unusually quiet and still about an hour before it actually sleeps, there is a reasonable chance it has been running this ritual every single night without you realizing what you were watching. The trust signal is different and considerably more surprising. When your parrot finally does sleep, the position it chooses tells you something most owners never think to read. A parrot standing stiff on both feet at 3 a.m. is stressed. A parrot with one foot tucked up into its body feathers, head rotated and buried into its neck, is at total peace. That position, head fully tucked, one leg raised, is the most vulnerable physical state your parrot can put itself in. It cannot react quickly from that position. It cannot launch immediately if something goes wrong. A parrot only sleeps that way when it has decided the environment is safe enough to risk it. If your parrot sleeps like that in your home, that is not just comfort. That is a decision it is making about you specifically. Number 2, the thing that happens inside the cage that you never see. Some of the most dramatic nighttime behavior involves parrots you would never expect to fall apart after dark. The parrot that talks to you all day, climbs onto your shoulder, eats from your hand, is one of the most striking examples. That same parrot, left alone in a dark room at night, can experience what researchers call night frights, a state of complete panic where the parrot wakes in total darkness, has no idea where it is, and begins flapping uncontrollably around the cage. The calm of the daytime is entirely suspended. The calculation the parrot's nervous system makes in that moment is simple. It cannot see, something may be attacking, move immediately. Researchers and vets have documented cases where night frights were severe enough to cause broken blood feathers, bone fractures, head trauma, and in extreme cases, cardiac arrest. Parrots that during the day would sit calmly for hours, destroying themselves against cage bars in complete darkness without a single person in the room to help. What this tells you about your setup at home is this. The decision of whether to cover the cage, where to position it, what light reaches it at night, is not just a comfort decision. On the worst nights, it is the difference between a parrot that wakes up tomorrow morning and one that does not. Number 3, how your parrot monitors the dark and what it is listening for. A sleeping parrot is not fully switched off. It is operating in a mode that most people never think about, a half-awake state of continuous environmental monitoring that researchers call unihemispheric slow-wave sleep. Many parrots can sleep with one eye open, literally. One hemisphere of the brain enters a sleep state, while the other remains active and alert, the open eye scanning the room for threats. The sleeping and waking hemispheres switch periodically, so both sides get rest, but the parrot is never completely unconscious in the way a sleeping human is. Researchers studying budgerigars and cockatoos first documented this clearly. Parrots in less secure environments kept one eye open and one hemisphere alert, while parrots that felt completely safe slept with both eyes closed and both hemispheres resting simultaneously. The same principle applies to your parrot tonight. When your parrot is on its perch at 3 a.m., it is not fully asleep. It is monitoring. The sound of your footsteps in the hallway, the headlights of a car sweeping across the wall, the shadow of something moving outside the window, all of these are being processed in real time. This is why the sounds of your home at night are not just background. The television left on in another room at midnight is being heard by your parrot. The door you close at 2 a.m. travels directly into an alert response in a brain that was never fully off. The nighttime home has a sensory network running through it. Even when it looks completely still, there is something worth sitting with in that. The room you look at through your doorway at midnight, dark, still, apparently empty, is not empty at all. It is your parrot in a state of active awareness, on its perch, monitoring the dark with one eye while the other hemisphere of the brain recovers, ready to react in a fraction of a second if the information coming in through that open eye signals that something has changed. They are there. You simply cannot see them, and they are paying far more attention to the night than you are. Number 4. The thing your parrot does at night that you never knew about. Most people think of their parrot as entirely a daytime creature, the talking in the morning, the climbing through the afternoon, the noise every time something moves. Nighttime in this mental model belongs to silence and nothing else. But your parrot is doing something at night that would genuinely surprise you. The sleep rehearsal is one of them. Your parrot is one of the most vocal animals you will ever own, spending its waking hours absorbing sounds, mimicking patterns, practicing phrases. What most people do not know is that this process does not stop when it falls asleep. Research on birds has shown that their brains activate in vocal patterns during sleep, firing song-like sequences through the night. But the nighttime patterns are chaotic and uncoordinated compared to the precise sounds produced during the day. If you have ever heard your parrot mumbling, clicking, or half saying a word in the middle of the night, it was almost certainly in the middle of a rehearsal its conscious mind was not even aware of. The nightmare behavior presents a different surprise. Your parrot is among the most expressive animals in your home during the day, reactive, loud, emotionally readable. But during REM sleep, your parrot's neck muscles relax completely, and its head droops forward. When the sleep cycle shifts, the head snaps back up suddenly without the parrot waking. Many owners who have witnessed this in the dark have no idea what they are seeing. Some parrots chirp specific words mid-sleep. Some call out. These are not malfunctions. They are dream states, and the parrot experiencing them has no more control over them than you do over yours. Number 5. The thing happening in your home on certain nights that most owners never connect. This is the part that changes the way you think about what your parrot is actually experiencing after dark. It does not happen every night. But on certain nights, triggered by things most owners would never think to check, the parrot that seemed completely fine when you went to bed is in a state of genuine crisis by 3 a.m. On a full moon night, the light shift inside your home can be enough to convince your parrot's nervous system that something is approaching. The full moon alone has been documented as a trigger for night frights in parrots. Most owners who noticed their parrot was distressed in the morning never connect it to what the sky looked like the night before. A parrot whose cage sits near a window with a street outside is being hit with headlight sweeps, moving shadows, and light shifts every time a car passes. To a nervous system wired to treat any sudden visual change as a potential predator, every passing car is a threat. And here is the thing that changes the full picture. Wild parrots never sleep in total darkness. They roost in trees where ambient light, sound, and movement are always present. The complete blackout cage cover that most owners believe is protecting their parrot may actually be making this worse. A parrot that wakes in complete blackness has no visual reference at all. It cannot see the perch, cannot see the cage walls, cannot orient itself. The darkness that feels protective to you is the darkness that turns a startled parrot into a panicking one. The room goes quiet at night. The talking stops, the movement stills. But what you are looking at when you see that quiet cage is not absence, it is concealment. Your parrot is on its perch running a security check on the room with one eye open. Somewhere in the architecture of its sleep, it is rehearsing the words it learned from you today. And if the wrong shadow crosses the wall tonight, the calm you left behind when you went to bed will not be what greets you in the morning. This happens every night. You have been living beside it for years without knowing the full shape of it. Now you know. And the next time your home goes quiet at night, the next time the cage goes still and the noise stops, you will know that your parrot has not gone anywhere. It has just moved into the part of its life you have never been able to see. Tell me in the comments, have you ever heard your parrot making sounds in the middle of the night, or walked in to find them in a state that surprised you? I want to hear about it. I read every one. I'll see you in the next one.